It's the Ron and Don Show on the Ron and Don Radio Network, and we took Father's Day off, and Ron's not really a father, or is he? Something we never talked about on the radio.
Yeah,
anyway,
we're not going into...
We are back, episode number 4, and we're actually recording this on a Saturday night at Ron's house, and I was a little late getting down here, and I want to apologize to you, because I was supposed to be here a little while ago. And what happened is, what it was. Yeah, I have a couple houses. One of these houses I Airbnb, and I've been really excited about the people that come and stay at the Airbnb because they come from all over the world. And at this one particular Airbnb, it sleeps 11. Sleeps 11. Yeah.
That's a lot of sheets to clean.
And sometimes I have cleaning crews and all that, but sometimes I have to go in there and be my own cleaning crew because sometimes cleaning crew could be somewhere else. You just don't know. Sometimes my son, G-Force, will come in there and help me out. So anyway, I've been talking to Karen, and Karen is a beautiful French nurse. And so she is coming. She is coming with 10 other French nurses.
Wow, it's a French nurse convention?
Yeah, and this has
been on this one. Let me know.
Has been on the schedule for quite some time. And believe me, when Danny shows up from Alaska with 8 of his buddies, and they're going to go out trawling, or they're going to go out do some fishing or some crabbing or whatever, not as interesting, or we're here to see the deadliest catch boats, or we're here to throw some fish at the markets, or you have a lot of people that will come for a Mariners event, or people come from a Seahawk event, whatever it is. Anyway, I've been so excited about the French nurses,
of course,
that are coming.
You should be.
Yeah. So anyway, on Saturdays, I was over a demo in a house with my friend Joe, and we have another house that we're working on that we're gonna turn into a rental. And we don't know how to build anything, but we know how to tear crap apart. And
I've seen you with the demo pictures.
Yeah,
I was scared because Don was holding a Sawzall.
Right.
Now, just so everybody understands, I have a screwdriver right now on the table in front of Don, and it worries me just that it's near you.
I don't even know how to
You
use
don't know.
that.
You don't know how to operate the screwdriver. So seeing you with a Sawzall, which is those giant battery-powered saw where the blade is about 8 inches long and it's going in and out super fast. Yeah. That I thought you'd come here with 8 fingers tonight.
Anyway, I took down 7 walls today.
Nice.
7 walls with a 12-pound sledge. Just getting after it. Filled up a couple dump trucks. And so I'm feeling pretty good. And then all of a sudden in the middle, and this is one thing, if you have any kind of rental or you have any kind of Airbnb, you know that people can reach out to you because you're the host. And if anything is happening, you're supposed to correct it and fix it. And a lot of times, if you don't correct it and fix it, because you don't know, did you know you're sitting by a super host right now?
I didn't. Can I actually ask you some questions?
And then there's super host. This is a super host over here. Oh, not a regular. And to get to a superhost status, you almost have to carry a 5-star status to be a superhost. And so that's what I am. What would you like to ask me about being a superhost? And then I have to get back to the French nurses, because what just happened to me was unbelievable.
Okay.
Unbelievable. Because the French nurses had an issue and a problem, and they call, who they call? They call
the superhost.
Don of the Ron and Don superhost over here. That's right.
This is a serious question.
All right.
Because I have had many people, you included, look at the condo that I own, like, oh, you got to Airbnb this thing. And I'm like, I don't know if I should. And I was talking to a friend of mine today that was like, I was going to go out and
buy... This thing right here that I'm sitting in?
No, my one that's over by Lake Union.
Oh, that you should. The thing we're in right now is a dump. So yeah, I wouldn't. But I don't even want to stay there.
I have a friend, I was talking to her today, and she's like, I had this brilliant idea. I was going to buy an Airbnb. I think you know what I'm talking about. So she bought an Airbnb close to the airport, and it took her too long to finish it out.
Hang on, you don't buy an Airbnb, you buy a house.
Well, she bought a house.
You turn it into
and she's like, this is going to be
or a VRBO or a short or long-term rental.
But so she was like, this is going to be easy as pie. I'm buying this house, just going to fix it up a little bit, and then boom, I'm making money. And she's like, it's been 8 months and I'm dying over here. So to me,
running the Airbnb.
Well, it's not fixed yet.
Oh, okay.
It's not. It costs more than she thought it was going to cost. There were more problems than she thought there was going to be. And so I was sitting there going, well, I had thought about this, but maybe I shouldn't even do it at all.
Ron, it's not for everybody.
And
not everybody can be a superhost. Not everybody can be a superhost. And you have to really like hosting people, taking care of people. There's issue at one of my other Airbnbs this morning. I was on my way to go see my counselor, my therapist, and in the middle of that, Mark contacts me and says, hey, a couple things. Number one, I accidentally parked in your neighbor's front yard, and I did burnout. Didn't mean to.
How do you accidentally park in someone's yard?
He parked on the easement thinking it was a driveway, and actually ended up getting stuck in the neighbor's front yard and trying to get his car out of the front. And not a lot of people park in the front yard on Queen Anne. Now, down here in Burien, it's a way of life. I mean, that's what you do. In fact,
shoot, I even get 16 cars on that yard.
Yeah, in fact, I pulled up in your front yard moments ago.
Of course you did.
Next to your boat and your canoe and your holiday rambler. So, anyway.
He just do his neighbors do, dog.
Then he also told me, hey, just wanted to let you know, the bathtub has been leaking into the roof, and the roof has been leaking into the dining room. I'm like, Mark, how long has this been going on? He's like, seems like 4 or 5 days. I'm like, Mark, maybe you should have given me a heads up on the 4 or 5. So my friend Joe, and we're partners in this venture too, he went over, and evidently there are people around America, and I didn't. Do you always use a shower curtain? Always.
Yeah, if I'm taking a shower. If I'm taking a bath, I don't. If I'm taking a shower,
This is a bathtub shower, and evidently there are people around America that don't use shower curtains in bathtubs. They're taking a shower and there's no curtain? He's taking a shower and he
and
refused to use
everywhere?
the curtain. The curtain was not used. Mark refused to use.
That's ridiculous.
So
that's not a thing.
Not only is he getting his car stuck at my Airbnb in the front yard of my neighbor, and that's the neighbor that actually sold me the house. So then I had to go over there with a shovel and try to repair the neighbor's front yard.
Ouch.
And then on top of that, there is a huge waterfall now from the second floor down to the first floor.
That's not good.
Yeah, and I have Karen and her parents that are coming at 3 o'clock, and the house also smells like dead fish because somebody decided to take old fish bones and stick them in a grinder, and they tried to put them in the garbage disposal, and that didn't work out so well. So anyway.
Other than that, it seems like it's going great.
So that's at one Airbnb. So now at the other Airbnb, I got Karen reach out to me, and she's like, hey, and we're doing this through a translator because she's French. So,
right, of course.
So Airbnb is translating all this for us. Evidently, when you travel, will you sleep on a couch?
I did when you and I went to London, and it was not comfortable. That guy said it was a bed, and it wasn't a bed.
It's clear. I'm very clear on mine. Very clear on mine that the couch is a couch. And if you'd like to sleep on this couch, you can sleep on the. There's 6 other beds in the couch, but the couch is a couch. And if the couch wasn't a couch, if the couch was a sleeper sofa, because I have one of those somewhere else, is sleeper sofa, then 2 people could sleep on that. But it's very, very clear in my ad that 1 person can sleep on the couch if they want to do that. And sometimes people want to do it on the cheap.
Maybe it's lost in translation.
Or you got a kiddo or whatever.
It depends on the couch. Like, there's some couches I slept on.
Anyway, all the nurses get there, and everybody runs, and they grab the room, and everybody's happy except for one nurse. Mm-hmm. And guess what? This nurse is very upset, and the reason the nurse is upset is because this nurse has to sleep on the couch. This nurse is not sleeping on the couch. This is all coming to me in French, which is being translated through Airbnb, and I can tell I got some pissed off people that have just arrived at SeaTac. They're on Queen Anne Mountain, and they need me to come help them out right now. Now, I just told you I've been demoing, so I look like I've been demoing, and I'm bleeding all over the place because a lot of times I nick myself, and I don't know what that is, and I have all kinds of plaster in my hair and then also in my clothes and in my pants and everywhere else. I'm supposed to come down here.
Well, they're nurses. They'll know what to do.
That's what you know. What I was kind of glad that they're having this problem because who's going to fix it? This guy right here, Superhost. I'm going to walk in and fix everything. So we text back. I'm like, you know what? I have a beautiful blow up bed. It's a great bed. It's a queen bed. You're going to love. Why are we playing MASH?
Because they're nurses.
Oh, okay.
It's the only thing I can think. I think I might have Doogie Howser. Do we want some Doogie Howser?
No, we don't.
All right.
I'm fine.
Okay.
Let's go back to the MASH. The
no,
MASH.
I'm done with MASH.
Okay. So anyway, the MASH song is a song about suicide. So I don't know. It's called Suicide is Painless.
It's about nurses. Hot Lips Houlihan. Come on.
Well, anyway, thank you for the 1972 reference.
Hey, you know what?
I appreciate that.
I don't have a lot.
People that understand that reference don't understand podcasts, so they're not even listening to.
Good point. That's a good point.
Yeah. So anyway, I rush home. I get all dressed. How great do I look right now?
You look good.
I look like a superhost. I don't look like I was doing demo earlier today. I look like, and thanks to everybody that reached out to me on Facebook today because I was making a demo playlist. Some great. What would you put on your demo? Playlist?
Probably Demolition Man.
A lot of Demolition Man.
Is it
Demolition Man.
The police version, though.
Yes,
not the Grace Jones version.
Thank you.
Not that there's anything wrong with the Grace Jones version. It's just not my preferred version.
Yeah. Anyway, a lot of Metallica on there. A lot of Going to Hell.
I'll probably put some Foo Fighters, maybe.
A lot of satanic stuff. It was great. It was really, and I played it, and we had a lot of fun today. So anyway, I'm down there. I'm showering. I'm putting on Swagger. I'm 52 years old, and I'm using Swagger. And I don't know why I'm using Swagger, but I almost felt like I'm going on a date. I'm going on a date with 11 nurses from France, is what it felt like to me. I was so excited about this. And they got a problem, and I'm going to fix it because that's what superhosts do. So I'm down there. I shave. How great do I look right now? I shaved. I smell great.
You do.
Yeah, I look like I'm ready to go out with
you
11
look like
nurses.
The quintessential American male.
I do.
They're probably in French going, this guy walked right out of the catalog of U.S. males.
So I'm thinking, do I go to the door? Don't
tell me you did not wear the aviator glasses.
Do I go to the door with the aviator glasses on, looking like Tom Cruise, and make him call me Maverick?
No.
Or not. And I decided to go to the door with the glasses on. So I got the glasses on. I got the Swagger. I load up the double bed. I got some pillows.
You just said it was a queen before. Now it's a double?
No, it's a queen. Yeah.
Is it a queen or is it a double?
It's a queen. It's a queen.
Don't bring a double in here if you're promising me a queen.
Pretty sure it's a queen.
All right.
Could be a double.
How many pairs of sheets do you have?
I have a whole thing of sheets. I have all kinds of sheets. Superhosts have lots and lots of sheets. We have sheets coming out of our hair. What's that?
What's your thread count?
1,400 is the thing.
No, come on. You're not buying 11 pairs of sheets at 1,400 thread count. I'm not buying it.
1,400.
I'm not buying it. It's a faux 1,400.
$52.99 online. So I get all spruced up. I get to the door, and I'm like, do I knock on the door? Or do I just use the code of the door? Or do I ring the doorbell?
Ring the doorbell. They're guests.
That's what I did, and I rang the doorbell, and all of a sudden, some guy comes to the door, and I'm trying to bonjour him a little bit, and I looked on.
Trying to do that one more time?
Do a little buongiorno, which is a pizza.
It is a pizza.
Buongiorno's a pizza.
DiGiorno's a pizza.
I think I said DiGiorno, and he's looking around for some pizza. Maybe thought I was the pizza delivery man.
This is a totally different movie.
And I thought it was going to be. It's a guy. Dude comes in, and he is pissed.
Wait, men can be nurses?
This is probably the guy that has been told that he's going to have to sleep on the couch. And guess what else? He has his shoes on. There are signs all over the house.
In English.
All over the house about not wearing shoes in my house. Everywhere. There's a sign, and I could hear them clippity-clopping down in the basement. But I was okay with that because I figured, 11 nurses from France, this is gonna work out okay. So anyway, he invites me in the house. I take my shoes off in my own house because I'm trying to get that to catch on. It's not catching on. All of a sudden, I look around, and in my living room, there are 7 dudes staring at their phones. And I'm like, where the hell is Karen? And I thought this was a French nurse convention. Evidently, Karen is the liaison who's contacting me from France. These are 11 men in my house. 11 French nurses. All of them with their shoes on. 2 guys were smoking in the backyard. There is no smoking. There is no shoes. And guess what? I turned around. I went downstairs. And before I did, I took a little pill. And I just gave my blow-up bed a little pop. And then I walked out the door. So, at this very moment, pissed off nurse guy is probably trying to blow up a full or a queen bed. That's probably not going to blow up very well. And I expect to hear from Karen at any moment. Anyway, who would have thought 11 men, 11 French nurses coming to stay at your Airbnb. It's the Ron and Don Show on the Ron and Don Radio Network. Smoking, eating baguettes, they got their shoes on, and I'm saying buongiorno, and no one's saying buongiorno back to me. Salute? Salute! Anybody? Salute! I just practiced this on my phone. Salute? Mercy or merci?
You're listening to the Ron and Don Show on the Ron and Don Radio Network. ronanddon.com.
Oh, it's the Ron and Don Show on the Ron and Don Radio Network. Thanks to the tens of thousands of people that have been listening to the Ron and Don Show. You can listen to us on YouTube. You can also listen to us on Anchor. In fact, they're one of our sponsors. And we're really proud of that. Ron, how can people listen? And subscribing and rating us, doing all that stuff is pretty important for the health of the show. Right?
Absolutely. So I would recommend using the Anchor.fm app. Not only they're a sponsor, but there's a couple cool features in there that I really like. Number one is you can send us a voicemail through the app, just talking into your phone. So when you have the app open, you can comment on the show, you can ask us a question, and then we can then play it back in a show if we want to. So that's really cool, and I don't know if the other apps do that. So you listen to the episode, you record a message, and it gets sent right back to us, and then I open it up in our dashboard, and I can see that.
Do not give my mother that phone number.
It's not a phone number. It's just in the app.
She's been calling me, and she will leave all kinds of messages on that.
And then the other thing that they've enabled...
And don't give it to the 11 French doctors either.
Right.
They're going to be pissed off that I popped their bed.
The other thing that Anchor does that I really like is you can support the show with the Support the Show button that's right there on the app. So you can listen to the episode, support the show, and then you can also leave the message. So that's really cool. If you already are used to using Apple Podcasts...
What do you mean support the show? You could spend $1 or $5?
Yeah, you can do... it's a monthly support button. So it's either 99 cents, $4.99, or $9.99.
Cool.
And it's just for people that get value from the show, and you can do that right through the app. So the Anchor app, I like that the best. It's the easiest for the metrics, but it also gets pushed out to Google Play or to Spotify or Stitcher or Apple. And so if you're already in those apps, and I want to say this again, I've gotten a bunch of people that have asked me this question. I started playing it. I got in my car. And then when I went to rejoin, it started again from the beginning. If that's happening to you, then you're not in an app. You're on the web. Oh. And so you need to go and download the app. And when you download an app, it will remember where you hit pause and then pick it back up the next time that you go in. So, Anchor, and then the YouTube channel's up as well. You can subscribe there. Subscribe, hit the bell, and it'll notify you when something drops.
Oh, I love it. That's great. Okay, what do we got? What else is going on?
You need to explain this to me.
Okay.
Because I'm having an old man get off my lawn moment here, and it involves something that your son, who his voice we hear on the show, it does all the time. And I absolutely, most of the time, I at least get something.
By the way, I smoked him again at the Jogathon this year.
Good for you.
I smoked him when he was a kindergartner. I smoked him in first grade, second grade, third grade. Took him down.
One of these days he's going to beat the old man.
What's that?
One of these days he's going to beat the old man in something.
Not at the elementary school Jogathon. And I suck all these kids in, and I make them think that I'm going to let them win. And then at the end, I torch them. Way to go. I also either steal all their water or I steal all the cups so they can't get to the water. And then, you know what? They're just a bunch of tired, cranky, ornery kids sucking on popsicles. And I'm like, take that, third graders. And then I'm on my way.
So I'm honestly don't get this. So you need to explain. I think you do. Pokemon is coming out.
I don't.
Well, let me just get there. Pokemon, which your kid plays Pokemon tournaments.
Yeah.
I bought him like $1 million of Pokemon stuff for his birthday, and we were opening Pokemon stuff for like an hour and a half. I had no idea what we were doing.
He makes me play them. I don't know how to play them.
So then hold on, this is coming.
And then he won't explain the strategy to me.
Look out.
And then he tells me how dumb I am. When I'm like, well, I agree with you, but you know what? I smoked you at the Jogathon.
So
smoked you.
Listen to what's happening.
Smoked you.
Pokemon.
Yeah.
Pokemon Sleep is coming.
Oh, man.
So this is going to be some sort of app.
Okay.
And you score Pokemon points while you sleep.
Oh, no.
All right? So I'm reading this, and I'm like...
The thing that won't give away.
The Pokemon Go, I kind of got. You remember when this was the rage? People had their phone out, and they're walking around, and you're, like, capturing Pokies around the universe. So, like, you could go to the mall and there'd be a Pokey in there and you'd get yourself a Pikachu. Yeah. Like, I kind of got that. It's a little weird, but people scored. I sort of get it.
A lot of the Seahawks did that. Richard Sherman was really into it. My son was into that, and there was a
Your
guy
son goes old school with the cards, though. The cards.
What's that?
He has the cards.
Yeah, he has the cards, but he used to do Pokemon Find or whatever, and then the gal I was dating used to drive him around, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" And they're like, "We're finding these Pokemon all over the city."
Your son's going to ask you this, so I'm going to read from the source. This is from CNET, and he's going to ask you for this. Pokemon Sleep is turning sleep into entertainment. He's going to ask you to buy in 2020 the Nintendo Pokemon Go Plus Plus.
Wow.
It's going to connect to the phone on Bluetooth, and it's going to send Pokemon, your son's sleep data through the night, and it's going to add functionality to smartwatches, and then somehow you monitor the sleep, and then you get Pokemon points or something.
I already know what it is. G-Force O'Neill tries to go to bed every night with stinky feet and doesn't brush his teeth.
Okay.
Just like his dad.
That's what you do when you're
You know what? I brush my teeth all day. I don't brush them before I go to bed.
That's fine.
I don't. Whatever like you and I just had some delicious peanut butter pretzels.
Yeah, those were good.
I want that taste in my mouth when I go to bed. So I'm not going to limit. Now, I brush 7 or 8 times a day. I brush in the car. You know that.
You're a frequent brusher.
I brush all the time.
Sometimes I do the same thing.
When I'm demoing, I got a sledgehammer in one hand, a toothbrush in the other. I floss. I brush. In the shower, I brush. But I don't like to brush before I go. And the other thing is, he and I are kindred souls. We both have super stinky feet, no matter what. And every once in a while, I don't tell him this, but sometimes Dad doesn't always do the laundry when he's supposed to. And so,
are you reusing socks?
I take the socks, and what I do is I spray them with Secret, and it's
strong enough for man.
It's strong enough for man, but it's
talk about 1972 references.
It's the only thing that's pH balanced, and I wear Secret. In fact, whenever I date someone, they come over and they look in my medicine cabinet. This is how you know, and they're like, "Oh, you're dating another woman." I'm like, "Oh, you're going through my medicine cabinet. You just saw the Secret."
Would you like some Tab?
But you know me. You know I use Secret.
Right.
There's no secret about me using Secret. So nonetheless, I'll spray his socks down with the Secret, and then I spray myself with the Secret. I spray my armpits, and I spray my crotch.
So basically,
and my feet. So
which
my
is
feet,
very weird.
My crotch, my armpits, and then my son's socks. I spray with. We go through a bottle of Secret about every other day.
So basically, you don't understand Pokemon Sleep either.
Not at all. I will tell you this. G-Force
What
O'Neill.
is Pokemon Sleep?
G-Force O'Neill, if this is supposed to monitor him, he sleeps for about 13 and a half hours a night.
Okay.
If I go in there and I try to hug him and pray with him and do all that, if he's sleeping,
would he be into this? Getting Pokemon points to sleep?
I usually get he'll want to still cuddle with me, but he doesn't tell anybody this that he wants to cuddle.
Say anything.
He wants to pray, and then usually I get a kick right to the nards. Boom. Just because he's a really rough and tumble sleeper.
Have you gone?
And that's when I know. Hey, sometimes I've fallen asleep, so I have to get up, get in my bed, go to sleep. I check on him every once in a while. Usually, my first check, he's upside down. He's upside down in the bed, covers are off. Second time, he's waking me up telling me he's cold. And I'm like, well, the reason you're cold is because you're naked. You took all your clothes off. Clothes are off. You're sleeping upside down, and there's no covers on the bed, right? And then what he does now is he tries to cover himself with his dog. He tries to cover himself with Charlie when he's sleeping. And so Charlie's
That's a good move. It's a great move.
I love that because it's like a
so
living...
Now, hold on.
His
important
dog
question.
His dog is like a living...
Important question.
Let me finish.
Let me finish.
By the morning time, somehow he is flipped back around.
He's a mobile sleeper.
He's back.
I see. He might get Pokemon deductions for that.
Didn't you do that, though? Didn't you fall asleep, and then every once in a while, in the middle of the night, you'd wake up upside down in your bed?
No, I would be leg out.
Oh, you? Yeah.
Leg out. I was a leg out guy.
I'm a leg out.
Has he graduated from, moved from calling you daddy to dad yet?
No.
Because
yeah.
I went daddy to dad to Bob.
I'm daddy when it's just him and I, and he still likes to hold my hand and all that. And then in front of his friends, it's like, hey, you! Get us some chocolate milk! It's the Ron and Don Show on the Ron and Don Radio Network. Anybody got any chocolate milk?
You should buy a shirt. It's the Ron and Don Nation t-shirt. $5 goes toward helping kids. It's cops helping kids. Find out more at ronanddon.com. Ron and Don. Ron and Don. Ron and Don. Ron and Don. On the Ron and Don Radio Network, man.
Okay, how much do I have to pay you for this?
$1.
All right, it's the Ron and Don Show. It's podcast number 4. Don't forget 1, 2, 3. They're all out there. A lot of people ask us what happened at the radio station. That's podcast number 1. Podcast number 2 you could listen to. What was on podcast?
That was that time we were in a lawsuit with the Atlantic.
Yeah.
So that's on podcast number 2.
Stranger called the other day. I guess they're doing a story on that, and it's Ann Bremner, who is our attorney representing us with the Atlantic and also with the city of Seattle, and Sally Bagshaw. I didn't know that Sally Bagshaw was a Stanford attorney and Bremner Stanford attorney. They went head-to-head, and in episode number 2, Ann deposed her about some horrible things that she said about us, and she admitted that basically, well, you'll have to listen to
that's an interesting episode.
Listen to episode number 2. And then episode number 3.
Episode number 3 is right after we were no longer with the radio station. My birth mother, I'm adopted, I can't reset the whole story. She ended up dying with a death with dignity ceremony, and so I tell that story. It was one of the most intense things I've ever been a part of, but it was also very inspiring, and I've had a lot. Just a real quick aside, the supportive messages, I haven't been able to answer all of them, but through all our social medias, Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and all that, and people have been texting me and calling me, I really appreciate it, and it's everybody's lost someone, and everybody's sort of longed to be reunited with someone, and so I think those themes have touched people very deeply. And when I've been talking with the family, and they are very appreciative of all your messages, and they know, in talking with Catherine before she passed, she wanted to inspire people, and she wanted for her story to help, and so that's one of the reasons why I told it, and it has been helping. And so I just wanted to give a heartfelt thanks, because that was probably the most intense thing I've ever shared on the radio.
That's
before.
nice. And I sent you no messages.
You didn't? No. So thanks for the support.
Well, you know what that is? When you, like what
silent support.
No, what I do, like when I screw up and don't do something, or like I'm supposed to send someone a card, or I miss my mom's birthday, what I tell her is, I'm giving you space. Mom, I'm giving you space. Because that's what you say. You say, Mom, I learned on this, because everyone's on a journey. You say, I'm on a journey. I was giving you space. I just want to. So I was giving you some space.
Well, thank you for the space. That was nice.
Is what I was doing. Yeah. So I'll send you a card a couple of years from now.
Yeah, you got it.
About it. Anyway, speaking of being on a journey, I was just looking at my phone, and something I shared with everybody. Can you believe it's been 517 days today? 517 days.
Since what?
I made a decision that I was going to change my life, that I was going to quit drinking, that I was going to quit smoking. I didn't even smoke at the time.
Which was easier to do.
So that one was simple.
Right.
That was easy.
You're going to quit speaking French.
Yes.
Because that's something that was getting in your way.
That's right. I was going to quit cigars.
Right. Exactly.
I think I've smoked half of one of those at my cousin Debbie's wedding. So I was going to change my diet, go plant-based. And then, and I was going to go to counseling, see a therapist. And
which, you know what? I'm actually very glad that you did that. Like, it's been dramatic changes. I mean, sometimes you still do Don O'Neill things.
Totally.
But, like, I don't know if that's ever going to go away. Like,
not.
Every once in a while you call me and I'm like, wow. Here I thought the counseling was kicking in. Boy, you need to get a coupon and go back in there. But there's other things where it's been really good.
Yeah. So anyway, I have to tell you though, when I grew up in church, when you make a mistake, you're supposed to let people know that you backslid, and I had a backslide.
Oh,
yep. So can we put some time on the clock?
You want like a stopwatch?
Yeah, let's put some time on the clock, and I'm going to give you a couple choices here, and I'm being very serious about this because I want you open and honest about this.
That's kind of annoying.
Because I talk with, I feel like I'm on 60 Minutes. Let's see. Yeah, it's not
working either.
It's not the right one.
All right.
What else do we have? What about, do we have Batman?
Batman's a little upbeat. It's more upbeat than you think it's going to be.
Let's see. Yeah.
It's a little upbeat.
It's upbeat. Yeah.
How about...
I like this. This is good. I feel like I'm in a spaghetti western.
Either you backslid and you got a Dick's Deluxe and a fry and a shake.
Let me ask you, what do you because I want to be open and honest about this, because and let me just say to people, especially if you've gone on this journey where you've decided that you're going to quit drinking. And for me, my therapist never said you're an alcoholic. What she said is, boy, when you drink, you really have a lot of fun until it's not fun anymore.
Right.
And then you start numbing. And so that's why I had to stop, because I looked at my father. I saw he died young. I saw his siblings, all 7 of them. They died young. My grandmother died young. I don't know, and I've shared this before, I don't know any O'Neills other than my immediate family. And we were a big Irish family, and I don't think any of them are left because they were a big Irish, hard-drinking family. And even when we were eating the potatoes, we would turn the potatoes somehow into potato vodka.
Into vodka, of course.
Yeah, anything we could do. So anyway, 517 days in, and if you make a mistake, see, this is what I don't believe. Like, if you go to AA or something like that, and I've been to 6 meetings in my life, and they're good to go. And people that go to AA, I think it's important. And people, if it's part of your journey, it's not part of mine, but if it's part of yours, in doing the 12 steps and all that.
I've known some people that it really worked for.
It's awesome. It really is awesome. And the people that sit in those rooms are genuine, and they have saved a lot of lives. They have saved a lot of lives. And I'm really proud of the people that have committed to that. But for me, I go to therapy. I do something that's a little bit different. So anyway, I don't know how to share this, but I'm going to. And I'm going to be very real with you. I was at an open house the other day, and I had this big vegan taco salad before the open house, and it's my first house I'm selling, and I'm really excited about it. It's down in Madrona. And
it's a beautiful house.
Beautiful house.
Who was the first guy
Craftsman masterpiece
to come to your first listing?
You were.
This guy right here.
You were.
I know.
And then the Windermere agents, they're like snipers. They show up, and it's like by the time the Redfin agents show up, the house is already sold. 4 days later, I finally started getting calls from Redfin agents, and they're like, "Hey, we'd like to see the house." And I'm like, I got a call from a Redfin agent today. I'm like, I'm sorry, I sold that home 11 days ago.
Right.
Windermere agents, they're on it. We have multiple offers. It sold way over for what we're asking.
So what does this have to do with vegan salad?
Well, I'm sitting there at the open house.
And how is this a backslide?
This is my first open house where it's like my house.
Can I just
and I'm representing this house that I'm selling. And I've had this taco salad.
Time out.
That's a vegan taco salad.
You're a normal sweaty person.
Yeah. With stinky feet, and that's why I got to spray my armpits, my crotch.
I didn't want to say anything because it was your first open house.
Yeah.
What was going on? You were sweating.
Yeah.
It was like beating on your forehead.
Totally.
You're pitted through your shirt.
You know what? I didn't have an extra can of Secret because I'd used all the Secret on my son.
What was happening?
I used all the Secret on my son's socks the night before.
Something was going on because
I didn't have.
You looked like a sweaty mess, but I didn't want to say anything because I knew you were already nervous about your first listing.
I was so nervous.
And I was like, I'm not even going to bring this up.
Yeah.
But you were a sweaty, hot mess.
Thank you.
Thank God I was there to take the signs out to the corners.
Appreciate it. Yeah, thank you. So anyway, I'm at the open house, and people are coming in, and the first open house you do, it's like they call it, it's like an agent open, and so all the agents come by. And when you have a new hot property, and this property hadn't been on the market in 20 years, and it's this beautiful Craftsman masterpiece. So agents were stopping by. About 22 minutes in to this open house, and I got to go 3 hours on this thing, and I'm looking for a lull. Because that taco salad is knocking on my door.
Oh boy,
it is knocking.
22
minutes in, it's knocking.
You know what happened?
What? No, well,
hold on. Let me tell you.
Let me tell you. Okay, go ahead.
Vegan cheese.
What's that?
Vegan cheese. I bet there's vegan cheese on there.
I don't know what it was.
People think that it's cheese. It is not cheese.
I don't know what it was.
And then it hits people the wrong way.
I don't know.
If you're not used to the vegan cheese, that vegan cheese wants to get out.
Anyway, it's knocking, and I'm like, well, you know what? Maybe there's going to be a lull here, and so I spot a bathroom that I'm thinking.
There's a downstairs bathroom. I saw it. I went through that house.
You can't use.
It's a beautiful downstairs bathroom.
You know what though? You don't go to bathrooms at open house. Because everyone's touring everything. And I mean everything. They tour everything.
You can go down there. Do you not have... where's your poopery?
They tour... You can't...
You turn me on to poopery.
You know what? You cannot go to the bathroom at your open house.
You have to be ready.
You can't. You
have to in your car have
can't.
an emergency kit.
I think you
Poopery,
do. You do.
An extra roll of TP.
Well, and a lot of the houses that are vacant don't have toilet paper.
An extra shirt because you were sweating through your pits, and some secret. You need an emergency kit in your truck.
Yeah. So anyway, somehow I got through this 3 hours of this open house. And we ended up selling the house to a beautiful couple, and the girl actually rides in my spin class. So congratulations to them. I made it through the open house. I was able to get to a Starbucks down the street, and I was like, because when you're on a vegan diet, and I don't know if people know this, but you're taking in a lot of fiber and you're eating all the plants, and when it's time for the plants to get out, they want to get out. They want out. So, like, for instance, when I eat the carrot, I eat all the carrot. Everything in that carrot. It all goes in the blender. Everything. When I eat eggplant, I'm eating the egg and the plant. It's all going down. It's all in the... So, yeah, for whatever... Usually I can time these matters, and I didn't time it very well. And I'm like, you know what? I got away with one this time. I got away.
Maybe you need an extra pair of pants.
I got away.
In your emergency
Well, let
kit.
me tell you when I didn't get away with one. It's Friday morning. I am going to teach my 5:45 a.m. spin class.
Do I need to bring the pump back down?
I'm waiting outside the coffee shop at 5 o'clock. I roll in there. I get my coffee, and I say, and usually I don't do this. Usually I don't start drinking coffee until I'm halfway to the studio, Live Love Flow, where I teach. And they just have changed the name of my class now to Sergeant Cycle, by the way. I am a super host.
Too many and names.
I am now Sergeant Cycle.
No, we got to reject that.
I'm Sergeant Cycle.
That is the dumbest nickname ever.
That's
in
what
the
I am.
history of
That's right. So anyway, and by the way, the city of Seattle came the other day and sat in on my class to see if I was breaking the law. I kid you not. And they brought in monitors and everything else because they thought I might be breaking the law. Anyway, I'm feeling so good about selling this house. And maybe I'm going to see the people because I put it up on my Facebook page and they saw it and they came by and it worked beautifully. And maybe I'm going to see the new house owners. And I'm feeling pretty good about myself. Pretty good. And so I start drinking the coffee early. I'm drinking the coffee early. And the next thing you know, bam, what happened the other day, it's knocking on my door again. And I'm like, I wonder at the age of 52, I'm going to poop my pants. Like, oh my God. I'm 52 years old. I have not pooped my pants since I was like 7.
Oh, kids had to happen between 7 and 52.
Nope, never.
Really?
Non-pooper. Nope, I don't.
I've had a couple moments in my life.
I've never. It's never. I've had all kinds of other moments, but I've never had this moment. So I get down there, I get the truck parked, and I'm sitting there, and I'm just like, as long as I'm sitting here, I'm fine. But the moment I get up, I know I'm in trouble. And I'm like, what am I going to do? Because the plants from the vegan diet,
mixed with the coffee,
they want out.
Can we just end this segment right here? Can we just end this segment right here?
I get out of the truck.
I can't handle it.
It is 5:17 in the morning. My classes started at 5:45. And I usually get there early, and people are going to be there in about 6 minutes, and I got to get there to unlock the door. I am running. And the thing is, when you mix coffee with plants and running, it's never a good idea. I get to the door, I put the key in, and as I open the door, the next thing you know, here come the plants. I am 52 years old, and I completely poop my pants waiting to go in the studio. I got poop down my leg, it's going in my shoe, it's on the side of my sock. You talk about poopery. It's a poop jamboree. There's a poop. And now I'm like, so anyway.
No, we got to end. We got to end.
I run into the bathroom.
I can't take it anymore.
I run into the bathroom. And I'm trying to get things handled in there. And now and everyone's knocking on the door, and they're wondering why the door is.
It's a closed house.
And I didn't unlock the door when I got inside. So anyway. People were knocking on the door for about 9 minutes. I was having a really rough time of it. And finally I said, you know what? Screw it. I'm just going to take a shower. So I went into the shower with all my clothes on. And from head to toe, with all the clothes. I took
Sergeant Cycles in the shower?
Sergeant Cycles. I got the whistle on. I got the whole thing. And then I came out to the door. And people were like, what is going on?
Soaking wet?
You. Yeah, and I was like, you know what? Training for something right now. came a little early, got on that bike, got in the saddle, and we had to ride. So anyway, you guys better be ready, because I wasn't ready this morning at 5:17. 52 years old. Poop my pants. So you know what I did on the way down here tonight? I ate some chicken. I ate meat. I ate some chicken. I ate a chicken leg because I'm hoping that bounds everything together and I don't have to deal with this anymore. Anyway, Sergeant Cycle ate some chicken. There you go. 517 days. Hey, every once in a while, meat's going to be part of the journey. It's the Ron and Don Show on the Ron and Don Radio Network.
Mail. They get lots of mail.
Ron and Don's got mail.
First class, second class, overnight.
Mail.
Oh, a lot of mail.
Ron and Don's got mail.
What's in the bag tonight, Ron and Don?
That's our favorite guy, Kanan, who we used to
he's so good.
work with. He is amazing dad, too. So, anyway. Ron and Don, episode number 4 on the Ron and Don Radio Network. Don't forget, you can listen to us on YouTube. There's a whole bunch of different ways you can listen.
YouTube, Apple Podcast, but we're going to do some voicemails now, and this is the feature's only on the Anchor FM app. So they sponsor the show.
Yeah.
You can download it in the App Store, anchor.fm, and you can talk right into your phone and send it to us, and we've got voicemails now.
We
do.
So
we're going to try this out for the first time.
We're going to play some?
So you can ask questions.
Oh, boy.
And let's start off with Laura. Let's start with Soyora, I think.
It's got to be it.
Good afternoon. I was just wondering whose little boy is now part of the announcing crew. I also wanted to say I missed you guys. Turned on the radio one day, went looking for you, and you weren't there, and nobody was saying anything. Too strange. Anyway, just wanted to say hi.
I think she was smoking. Do you think she was smoking when she was talking to us?
I think she's nervous.
What's that?
She sounded nervous to me.
I thought she sounded great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It sounds really good when you just talk into your phone.
She sounded great, and you know there are people that, and I've been on this journey, and so I haven't smoked in 517 days, and I actually haven't smoked in 52 years. I'm a non-smoker, so I think that'll continue to be part of the journey. But there are people out there, and I know it's bad for you, that are super cool smokers. She sounds like one of those. My grandfather, God rest his soul,
their voice gets better.
Sippy Phillips could really.
Eric Clapton's voice improved.
He could smoke a cigar. He could smoke a cigarette. He could smoke 2 cigarettes at one time. And usually when he's smoking 2, he's lighting one for someone else. And then he would have the cigarette behind the ear. And then when Grandpa Charlie really get partying, cigarette one ear, cigarette in the other. And then did you ever have that where, you're smoking one and then you're lighting the other one for like your daughter?
Yeah. How old was he when he died?
What's that?
I said, how old was he when
It's unbelievable. Lots of red meat. The only exercise he really got is when he was mowing his grass with his lawn boy, but it was self-propelled. So I don't know how much. But he'd be out there in his floor shine shoes, in a suit, mowing the grass. And other than that,
he lived to his 80s?
He had a bike he never rode. He was going to ride one day at 3-speed. My brother and I used to go. We build ramps and then we crashed them and broke them. And he's.
Are you ready for the second message from Jordan?
Anyway, and there was no, hey, we hate you. Go to hell. So I thought that was, which was what I'm used to. So
our second voicemail from Anchor FM. You can get us on the mailbag.
Glad you guys are back on the radio, but only 1 hour, and half of it was about Charlie Dinosaur. And one time a week, 1 hour a week. Come on, step up your game, guys.
Is that it?
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Jordan.
You know, I agree with him. We my whole life I've needed to step up my game, and I haven't. And then we have a choice. We could do 20 hours of live talk like we used to, or we could do 1. And we decided to do 1.
Exactly.
And then last week...
That's all I'm doing all week.
And then last week we decided to not even do it. And
right.
I could tell you it's because I was being a good father on Father's Day. I just didn't want to do it. I woke up and I'm like, I don't want to do it today. And so, anyway, to be honest with you, we would add more hours But we're adding more hours right now, going to class, listing homes, meeting with people.
Like I'm a professional realtor now. I got someone that put on my Facebook today. It's like, oh, so he's on the radio and he does this other thing part time. It's like, no, I'm full time. Being a licensed realtor.
Let me say this: in the Charlie Dinosaur thing, that's helping cops help kids. Thanks to everybody, and I'm glad he brought this up. I'm glad he brought it up. Thanks to everybody that bought a Ron and Don Nation T-shirt. If you buy one of these online. And take a picture of it, put it anywhere in the world, and we'll put it up on our social media
send us your
channel.
pictures when you get your shirt.
Yeah. And anyway, how many shirts have we sold, and then how much money have we raised for Charlie's Dinosaur?
I don't know the exact number of shirts, but it's approaching $1,000 for Charlie's Dinosaur.
That's awesome.
So it's really awesome.
Yeah. So we'll get on the horn. Do people still get on the horn?
No, I think you can get on the interwebs. You can do it on your phone.
Anyway, we'll reach out to Ed Troyer, Pierce County Sheriff's
Department. Get out the website, ronanddon.com. Click on the microphone, and then scroll down a little bit. You'll see all the shirts.
Yeah. And this is connected to the Cox Boys, and we've shared that story with you. If you don't know the story, Ed shares that story in episode number 1. What Charlie's Dinosaur is, so you can listen to that.
Or as Jordan called it, Charlie Dinosaur.
Yeah. Anyway,
let me give you a couple quickies here.
Okay, what else?
Here's Kate.
Love having you back on the radio. It's good to hear your guys' voice.
Here's Paula.
Okay.
Damn, you guys are back.
Oh.
Short and sweet.
That, you know what? Hot damn.
Hot damn, it was short and sweet.
Hot damn, we are back.
And then here's Jenny.
I am so excited. I just listened to the podcast. You have no idea how happy we all are. We have stopped listening to Cairo. I just can't. We love you guys.
Thank you, Jenny.
Yeah.
So
you know what? A lot of people have asked me about the people of Cairo, and I still talk to Dory a lot. We have a lot of colleagues, a lot of friends there. A lot of people that work behind the scenes that sold our show for years. And it's hard to go out right now and sell radio. And they have some of the finest sales people that are out there doing that. People like Tina and people like Jerry. And they did it for years, and we had great lives. So we are very, very appreciative for that and the fact that they've made a change. I had a publication call me the other day and say, hey, what do you feel about their rating slide? And it's like, well, if you're Dory Monson, there is no rating slide. The guy's king of the heap. Some of the other shows have slid, and I haven't listened to the new show, but new shows slide, and you have to give them time. And it takes anywhere between 18 months to 3 years sometimes in order to hit. It's a hard thing to do. So I would encourage you, keep listening and give that show that replaced us, those performers, they're all good people, they're good souls, they're good humans, and give them a chance. We don't have any animosity towards any of those performers, and just give them some time, because when you put a bunch of people in a room, you don't instantly have chemistry. Ron and I have been in a room together since we were boys, and we still don't have chemistry.
Exactly.
So here we are broadcasting from Ron's basement. That's how much chemistry we don't seem to have.
Well, and to that guy saying, hey, just crank out more content every week. I want to say, similar to what you were just talking about with folks, I took some folks for granted, because now that it's just a 2-man show, it's a lot. Like, I don't have a Michael to go to and say, hey, can you do this thing for social? Or a Matt to go to and be like, hey, Matt, we need some production done, and can you grab this music for me? Yeah. Or a producer to be like, hey, edit that thing up and upload it for us. Can you do that? Or the sales guy.
Right.
Hey, can we come to the sales meeting and you guys help us get a client? So when it's just you and I doing this.
And mostly you.
Yeah. And then most in like doing the newsletter and reaching out to people. But like, honestly, I'm excited to be a realtor. Like, I really am. I met with some folks that listened to the show in the past week, and I have some people that are going through a divorce. I've been through a divorce. It's really hard. And when there's a house involved and you got to make these big decisions, like it's very satisfying for me just as a human being.
To see people get divorced.
To see people get divorced.
We love Ron and Don. We are licensed realtors, and we are here to
help you get divorced.
Even if you're not going through a divorce,
we can cause a divorce.
We will make that happen.
No, it's satisfying to, like.
Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying.
What are you saying?
To assist someone.
This sounds horrible.
No, to help someone through that transition.
Okay,
that's cool.
Did you get a law degree in the last?
I did get a law degree.
You did.
So I'm now a.
How do you? So let me ask you. How do you help people through? If you're a realtor, how do you help them through this transition?
Well, it's a very emotional time.
Yeah.
Like, it's a lot of it is the technicality of the deal, and like we're learning that, and there's a lot of details to that.
Is that why there's so much Kleenex at your desk?
Exactly. There's tons of Kleenex.
You went to Costco and I saw you have like 30 boxes of Kleenex. I'm like, what is Upshaw doing with all this Kleenex?
I'm trying to have a sincere moment here.
It's because you're out causing people to go through divorce and cry.
Just so I can list their house.
And then you're swooning
exactly.
to sell their
This
home.
is my master plan. I'm going to break up marriages, sweep in, and list the house.
Beautiful.
No, it's
good for you. You know what? Everybody has to have an angle.
That's my angle.
You figured out yours.
No, I'm trying to have a sincere moment here.
I'm being sincere.
That it's been that is.
I'm not going to let you be sincere.
Yeah, no, you're not going to be sincere.
I'm going to go ahead.
So we're not doing a show 5 days a week. It's like I'm doing real estate stuff, and you're like listing houses and like sweating through your shirt
and selling them in one day
and then
having Redfin agents call me 11 days later, and I'm like, hey,
right.
you
So
are
not going to let me be sincere.
You are a discount broker.
You're
aren't
not going to be sincere.
Well,
so no, like it's now like making this pivot and becoming a person that someone can trust to sell their house, like a friend or someone in the Rondon Nation.
No.
That's the most important thing to me. Like if the podcast doesn't get out on a 1 week because we're doing like real estate stuff, that's fine with me. If we can hit it out of the like you crushed it for your client there. Like you really did.
I did.
Thanks to like the half a dozen agents that told me congratulations that I sold a house when it was you. But like seriously, you worked hard, and that's one of the reasons why we didn't do the show over Father's Day weekend. Because you were kicking butt for a client.
Well, no,
like you really were.
I made all this money and I was in Acapulco.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
But so like that transition.
So if people, even if you're not ready to buy or sell right now, you do something. So
absolutely.
You do something that's pretty cool.
Well, thanks for bringing that up.
So if people want to reach out to you, and please be really sincere right now.
Yeah, no, this is a cool thing that I like about Windermere and why we chose to go to Windermere.
I'm going to go to the bathroom.
My vegan taco salad.
The chicken just happened.
I can only do this for a couple people because it's time consuming but very cool. They have a technology stack that allows you to do a really great analysis of your real estate.
It is cool, yeah.
And so like if you're wanting to know, even if you're not selling, like where am I at in this house?
Mm-hmm.
Where's my neighborhood at? Like go really in depth because like some of the Zestimate stuff is like I just did a study on that. Like Zestimates can be like I think 66% of the time it's off by at least 5 to 15%, which is a lot of money. To so you pull that thing up, you're like, oh, that's what my house is worth. This is a very specific dive on that, and it has a lot of really cool tools. So I will do 5 of these for free.
Oh.
Email me, Ron.
Why don't you do one for me?
I'll do one for you.
All right. Now we're down to 4.
Ron at Windermere.com. Ron at Windermere.com. The first 5 people, and I will do this for free. We'll meet up. I mean, it's no obligation. Okay. It's just going to be a really cool thing.
I don't have time for that. Ron's going to do that. I just want to buy or sell your house. And then I want to sit on the other side of the table and negotiate for you.
You are a good negotiator.
Well, I read a great book.
I'm reading that book. Chris Voss?
Chris Voss. And in fact, I use this all the time. He was an FBI negotiator. And we're going to have Chris on here in the coming weeks. He doesn't know this yet because we haven't asked him, but he's going to come on. And he would get phone calls every day from around the world. And the book is called Never Split the Difference. And he would hear from terrorists and kidnappers all around the world that had kidnapped somebody. And the way the book opens, and I won't give it all away, is what would you do? Because he said this happened to me. Someone called him and said, you know what? We have your daughter. You have a minute to talk to her. And then you have a minute to understand our demands. And then we're going to hang up the phone, and we want $1 million. And if we don't get $1 million, then we're going to kill your daughter. Here's your daughter. Puts him on the phone with the daughter, gets on the phone with the kidnappers, and then they hang up the phone. And then Chris Voss says, what would you do in that situation? And what would you do to get your daughter back? And he would do this each and every day. He was their top negotiator. And it used to be, when you think of Ruby Ridge, or you think of the way the FBI dealt with David Koresh, it's like, you know what? We are going to go in there, a-holes and elbows, and we are going to show force, and we're going to bring tanks, and we're going to have armor, and we're going to have big guns, and we're going to show you who's boss. And Chris Voss, what he did is he had learned something called, and he learned this working on a suicide hotline. It's called tactical empathy. I don't have to agree with you, but I have to understand your perspective and where you're coming from. And so what he would learn is, and he learned more about these people that were calling him around the world, when they would take someone hostage, they just saw this as a business. It was a business decision to take someone hostage. It wasn't personal, but in different parts of the world, this is how they make money. So he learned this, and he learned tactical empathy. And a lot of times what these kidnappers would want to do, especially if they've had someone 3, 4, 5 months, is they want to split the difference with you. So if we're at $5 million, What's half of $5 million, Ron? You're in real estate.
At least $2 million.
There you go. See?
Look at that.
It's right.
I'll give you $2 million.
That's why people should sit down with you and
exactly.
figure out how much
I'm
the
doing that kind of
is.
stuff in my head.
Yeah, because
in my head right there.
It's a numbers game. So anyway, he says, you know what? You never split the difference. He tells you why you don't split the difference, and then he says this. He said the golden rule is one of the worst rules of all time. You should never follow the golden rule, because the golden rule says what? You should always treat people the way that they deserve to be treated. No, that's not what the golden rule says. The golden rule says treat somebody the way that you want to be treated. And he said, you know what? Sometimes people don't deserve that. So he treats them the way they deserve to be treated. And he is now one of the greatest speakers across the country. TED Talks, the book, Never Split the Difference.
And he's going to be a guest on this show?
Yeah. When I sit on the other side of the table and I'm negotiating for someone, I never split the difference.
So am I the hostage or is the house the hostage? Who's the hostage in this situation?
Also, when you're negotiating, you always negotiate really weird, odd numbers. In fact, I was working with one of my partners today. We were demoing, and his daughter was there, and she was doing some demo work. And I'm like, and her father has read this book too. And I said, what's your dad paying you? And she said, he's paying me $20 an hour. And I said, well, why don't you go ask for a raise? And she said, I'm going to go in there and ask for a raise. And she went in and asked for a raise. And I said, well, what did you ask for? And she said, well, I went in there and I asked for $22. And what your father said? He said, no. And I said, well, Dad, why don't we just split the difference, $21? And I'm like, oh, she doesn't know that her father's read this book. I said, this is what I want you to do. You go back in there and you talk to your father and you tell him that you've really thought about this. You've written these things out. You've really done your research. You looked at some comps of what some other college kids are getting paid when they come out and they're supposed to be doing demo work and they're just sitting there and they're drinking coffee and they're listening to satanic music and they're talking on their phone the entire time and really not doing much. And then all of a sudden they get a hammer in their hand and she was out of control. She was amazing today. Anyway, I said, you go back in there and you tell him you want $22.17. And I bet he gives it to you. So she walked back in there. She asked for $22.17. And all of a sudden, I hear from the room they're working in, he's like, yes! 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 $22.17, the deal was made, because guess what? You never split the difference, and you treat people the way they deserve to be treated. $22.17. And she couldn't even get 21. Check out the book. Never Split the Difference. Chris Voss, FBI top negotiator. It's the Ron and Don Show, only on the Ron and Don Radio Network. And don't forget, you can reach out to Ron. Ron at Windermere?
Yeah, Ron at Windermere.com. I can only have time to do 5 of these, but we'll come back if it's successful and do it again.
And I don't have time to do any of these. I don't want to do any of these. So Ron's going to do these. I just want to buy or sell your home. Don O'Neill at Windermere.com. That's Don O'Neill at Windermere.com.
Well, I want to buy and sell.
No, you want to do paperwork.
No. I'm not doing paperwork.
That's what you're doing. You're you're
no, this is way more than paperwork.
You're Ron's estimate over here.
No.
Yeah.
It's way more than paperwork.
If you want a restimate. A Ronstimate.
A Ronstimate?
What would it be?
Just go to email me.
All right. Hey, thanks for listening to the Ron and Don Show. A lot of people are listening to it, which really is a huge surprise to us, and we appreciate that. Don't forget, you can buy a shirt, Ron and Don Nation. Take a picture of it, send it to us, and you're listening to Ron and Don on the Ron and Don Radio Network, which is really just 2 dudes sitting in a basement. Right?
My dad is back. Like it or not, you're listening to the Ron and Don Show. You can find the guys at ronanddon.com.
All right, that's episode number 4 of the Ron and Don Show. It's in the books. Hey, if you want to support the show and you'd like us to do more episodes, if people sponsor it, we'll do some more episodes. How can they do that? You can actually sponsor it per month, like 99 cents or $5 or $5 million.
Yeah, if you want to do $5 million a month, that's Totally fine by me. Just go. You got to download the Anchor app. So go to the App Store. Just type in Anchor, ANCHOR. Download that app, and then when you find our show, obviously Ron and Don Radio, and then there's a button there that lets you sponsor the show. And as Don said, if this, if the support is there, we can put out some more content. So that's the easy way to do it. You can also leave those voicemails right through the app as well.
All right. Don't forget, we're licensed brokers. We'd love to help you with your biggest transaction, or if you just want some Kleenex, Ron has a car full.
Absolutely.
Ron at
all the paper products.
Ron at Windermere.com. And actually, the thing that you're doing is really cool. I'm going to do one of these with you, and then there's 4 more. How can people reach out?
Ron at Windermere.com. I need your name. I need your address, and then I'll get back to you, and we'll put this thing together.
And your car keys.
And your car keys,
and if you have
of course.
Children.
No,
we want their birth certificates.
Everyone that I've done it with has been like, wow, this is really great. So we can do that. We also have Ron and Don Nation News, which is kind of a newsletter I put out every week.
Am I in that?
I'm hoping you'll provide with some content here soon.
Really?
Yeah, that's a jab at you. So that's...
What would you like me to do for the newsletter? Because I hate newsletters.
I know you hate newsletters.
And when they're sent to me, I hate them.
So,
and it makes me feel like I'm in church.
Right.
But then you convinced me we should have a newsletter, and evidently people like it.
People love the newsletter. So go to ronanddon.com. Click on the microphone, and then it's right there. You can just put your email in. You'll get that when the show is dropping. So subscribe, all the stuff. Subscribing and rating us on Apple really helps.
Okay.
It's on Twitter. It's on Stitcher. It's on all those things. But Anchor's been really great to us, and that's where you can sponsor the show. So like we said, that really, really does help us out.
Okay. It's on YouTube too, right?
Yeah, on YouTube as well.
Okay. What if you want to leave a voicemail?
That's through Anchor.
Oh, okay. You got anything
T-shirts.
else?
Oh, we're going to do T-shirts. Here's the thing, too.
I guess he does have something.
And
you said this was the close.
No,
and
that's the close. All right, we can close.
What do you want?
No, I'm done.
What do you want to say about the shirts?
No, I was going to buy a T-shirt.
And we'll throw an extra can of Secret.
No, I'm not throwing in an extra can of T-shirt.
Okay. What do you?
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
We're done.
No, I don't want to be done yet.
No, I'm just done.
What are you doing on a Saturday night? This is when we're recording this.
I'm recording this.
Okay. And then what?
That's it. This is when it starts for me. When we finish this, now my work begins.
Okay.
Because I don't have a staff anymore to help
You're
do
my
any of this
staff.
stuff. Yes, I'm basically... I actually had someone today is like, what does Don do? And I was like, good question. What does Don do?
I sell houses, man.
That's what I'm trying to do.
That's what I do.
Selling houses.
I buy and sell houses. And then I have 11 male French nurses at my house right now.
That's hot.
Have a blow-up bed that's probably not blowing up. Wow. Hey, thanks so much for stopping by. We really appreciate you. Thank you for sponsoring the show. Thanks for sponsoring Charlie's Dinosaur. And thanks for being a part of something bigger than yourself. Keep your head up and your shoulder. And thanks for being a part of something bigger than yourself. And thanks for being a part of something bigger than yourself. Keep your head up and your shoulders back. And we'll see you next week for episode number 5. If we feel like doing it, it's the Ron and Don Show on the Ron and Don Radio Network.